Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is pretty much going to just be about football. NFL's 49 days away from starting up, from Packers-Bears to kick off the year for NFL 100. Should be Patriots, but that's here or there. I'm just happy to have football almost back. And I'm just going to talk about football because training camp started up yesterday with 4 teams reporting. One full, the other were just rookies with Seahawks, Ravens, and Cardinals just having rookies report. And Broncos had a full report yesterday. So what happens when you're in a Hall of Fame game? You have to report early. But let's talk about Deion Jones. Re-signed with the Falcons for 4 years, $57 million extension with $34 million guaranteed. That's good money. But why is that so crucial for the Falcons? Because they needed him last year. Deion Jones and Keanu Neal might be two of the most important Falcon players on that roster. They are at least top 4. The only reason why I'm not saying top 2 is because Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are really good. But those guys were key factors last year. They did not have them. And they struggled. Deion Jones might be the best player on the Falcons right now. And I know that's crazy to say with Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. But he makes that defense work. It's just different. As you saw last year, they fell off. Deion Jones is like the Bobby Wagner for the Falcons. The reason why I'm using Wagner is because Dan Quinn comes from Seattle. He comes from Wagner and Pete Carroll's system. You can have a decent secondary, but you want that middle linebacker. You want that guy quarterbacking everyone, telling them where to be and how important they are. That's what Deion Jones is. And I know some people are probably questioning why he got paid $57 million. He's worth it. If he stays healthy, he's maybe one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Maybe the best. I would rank him for sure in the top 10, maybe top 5. That's a little hard. But at times, he is the best linebacker on a Sunday. He has those moments that he takes everyone's breath away. He is quick. He is smart. He's a fun player to watch. He's a really good tackler as well. Deion Jones is a good football player, and I'm glad to see him get paid. Now, the Falcons need to switch their mindset to Keanu Neal now because he's also a big part of their roster, which is why I expect to see the Falcons have a major improvement from last year's because they'll be healthier this year. And they also brought back Grady Jarrett, and they got him on a franchise tag, but they re-signed him, and I don't have the contract deals in front of me, so I'm not going to really say how much it is or if it's worth it. All I'm going to say is this. He's a key player, he's good stuff in the run, and he's crucial for that team's success. Dan Quinn comes from the Seattle tree. With what you see with Atlanta is what you get with Seattle. That's how they play defense. They like stuffing the run, and they like having good linebackers. Worked for Seattle. It's worked for Atlanta, and it's going to be back in Atlanta this year. We're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield real quick. And it's about his quote that I saw pop up yesterday, and it's about Odell joining Cleveland pretty much. He's here to play in front of fans who actually care, who will actually show up to every game and pack the stadium and love him for who he is. Baker took a shot at Giants fans. Giants fans pack the stadium all the time. Can you tell me the last time you remember watching a Giants game and saying, that crowd's dead, there's no one there? I can't. Maybe I have a bad memory, but I can't. Can you remember the last time Cleveland Stadium was dead? I can. Multiple times. In the past 5 years, I probably have 8 different images that come to mind of the stadium being just dead. A wasteland. No one showing up. So, Baker, he's got a personality that I'm not sold on, and I know a lot of people are. Personally, not. I'm more of the guy that likes to have the Tom Brady's and Drew Brees as a quarterback. Both floats your boat. If he wins, that's good. But I don't like this for multiple reasons. Main reason is, when you lose, all these quotes come right back after you. It's fun when you're winning. You can bury that all when you're winning. But if they go 7-9, it's going to be like, ooh, Baker, he talked way too much. Oh no, this is not good. And Baker's the type of guy who goes on Twitter and will argue with media personalities that don't agree with him. Because he's the guy that has to have that chip on his shoulder. So with what you're doing is you're giving everyone bulletin board proof to put on you. So now they're going to cheer for you to actually fail so they can actually get some good ratings out of it. But no, you're so confident. Listen, no quarterback lasts forever. The only quarterback in my lifetime I've seen be dominant for their entire career is Tom Brady. Peyton Manning was good for a large majority of it, but he had a couple down years at the beginning. When Brady got handed the reins, it's been off. Tom Brady is the only exception to quarterbacks who are supposed to have bad years. Maybe this year's his bad year. Maybe Tom Brady falls off this year and everything's right with the world. But guess what? He still had a great run and only one bad year. You take that. Well, Baker, on the other hand, his team was under 500 last year. They are still yet to make the playoffs. They acquired a interesting personality at the wide receiver position. And he also, let's not forget, a couple weeks ago, he took shots at Sam Elliott, the quarterback at Texas. And I don't remember the exact quote, but I remember hearing about it. I remember Sam Elliott's response, which made me like him immediately. No, I don't need to respond to that. He's an NFL guy. He's doing what he's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. That's the guy I want a quarterback. That guy reminds me of a Drew Brees type. A Tom Brady type. Like, I'm not going to talk to you media guys. What happens in my mind is going to be personal in my mind. Personally, I can't wait to watch Texas versus Oklahoma because I think they're going to score a lot of points on Oklahoma. I know it's Big 12, that will happen, but I think they actually win by a large margin because of that, because that team will be fired up. Baker needs to be careful with what he says. For teams getting bulletin board proof on him and media guys getting bulletin board proof on him. Because he has proven he does not like people talking bad about him. He has a chip on his shoulder and it's growing by the second. He was number one pick. That's still not good enough for him, which is good. I'm not saying that's bad. But that chip is getting enormous. And if he doesn't take a step back and relax and breathe, that's going to get overwhelming. And it's going to tear him apart as a quarterback. I know with what I'm saying, it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. Trust me, it will. Because Baker has had his issues. And that chip on the shoulder, that's just going to keep on growing and growing. He needs to stomp it out now, and he needs to relax. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but I think it matters with how he's perceived by a lot of people, and if he can handle the spotlight. He likes the spotlight, but can he handle it? Now, I saw this thing posted by Pro Football Talk a couple days ago, or it might have been yesterday, it might have been today. I can't exactly remember when I saw it. But I remember reading these first couple lines. John Elway feels the most comfortable with his quarterback position since Super Bowl 50. That's understandable because Joe Flacco was a veteran and he's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win. What he's also forgetting to say is he really likes his rookie quarterback. He really likes him. And the reason why I think the Broncos are in a better quarterback situation than they were with Paxton Lynch and Trevor Siemian. Now, I was not high on Paxton Lynch. I did not think he would make it. I thought he was talented, yes. He had natural abilities. But I didn't think he'd be an NFL quarterback. He could be a backup, perhaps, but not a starter. We'll find out if he's a backup in Seattle. But now we're going to look at this in Denver. Joe Flacco. Flacco is a leader. He's won the Super Bowl. He's been with the Ravens. He knows how to win. And Drew Lock, he's a good young quarterback. Do I want Drew Lock to start early? No. If I see the Broncos play Drew Lock this year, they ruined it. No reason should Drew Lock play a football game this year unless their entire team gets injured. Unless you have two quarterbacks injured, I do not want to see Drew Lock stepping on that field. I want Flacco playing the games. And if he gets hurt, you bring in someone else. Who knows? Maybe you bring Mark Sanchez. You bring in someone else. Sam Bradford. I'd rather have you play Sam Bradford than Drew Lock. I don't want Drew Lock playing this year. That's because Drew Lock can either end up like a Ben Roethlisberger The quarterback that can just launch downfield, that can win you games, that's got that precise pass. Or he can end up like Blake Bortles, turnover magnet. Broncos need to be careful here. And I worry that Elway is going to be like, let's get the young quarterback out there. I'm excited to see. No. Vic Fangio's defense will win them games. Bradley Chubb and Von Miller will win them games. Joe Flacco needs to start. Even if they're like 0-6, Joe Flacco needs to start. And I know everyone's going to want to take out the shiny new toy. You wait. Drew Lock needs to sit behind Flacco. Learn the offense. Learn how to read defenses. Learn all these things. And then you can play him next year. This year right now is going to be establishing culture year for the Broncos. Broncos, they're not winning much this year. 5-11, 6-10 is where I see them. Now, the year after that can be very different. I'm going to look at it. Chiefs are going to have to pay some guys. They could lose some pieces. They could fall off. I don't know about the Raiders. Raiders, I don't know. Chargers, depends on Philip Rivers' health and how he ages. But overall, Elliott is correct. They are in a better quarterback situation than they've been in since Super Bowl 50. But it can all be messed up by one simple move. Don't do that move. Save Locke. Keep him on the bench. Now let's get to the headline. Let's get to the main event. Prior to what I title this, the Dallas Cowboys should trade Ezekiel Elliott. Now listen, unpopular opinion for Cowboys fans, trading Ezekiel Elliott is the best thing possible in this situation, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, Zeke's had some issues every offseason. They don't seem to go away. And I know this most recent one, it's kind of stupid if you've watched the video, but it still is an issue that needs to be resolved. Second part is, running backs are replaceable. You can replace a running back. Look where the Broncos got Philip Lindsay. He was undrafted. They paid him $10,000, which is like a penny in the NFL's pocketbook. They signed him. They brought him in. He did awesome. Now he's an NFL running back and will probably be their guy for 2, 3, 4 more years, depending on how contract negotiations go. Last year, Todd Gurley's injured. Rams, C.J. Anderson off the street. Helps them go to the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley gets nothing in the Super Bowl. Nothing. C.J. Anderson was probably their best player in the playoffs. Although, that's hard to say when you have Aaron Donald on your team. But still, let's just go with C.J. Anderson. Played phenomenal. Best offensive player in the playoffs. And now we look at Pittsburgh. Replaced Le'Veon Bell easily. They brought in James Conner. They had Jalen Samuels, who had a 100-yard rushing game against the Patriots. And they drafted a guy to Kentucky that had a great college career that was in the 4th round. No running back is worth more than $8 million. And if he wants to negotiate 2 years out of his deal, no way. I am keeping him. I am pulling a Bill Belichick, and I am trading him. I am not letting him stay in that locker room. Who knows what he'll do? Maybe he'll bring the team down. Maybe morale just isn't there anymore. I am not taking a risk. I am calling up Houston. We'll take Lamar Miller and a couple draft picks. I'm calling up Baltimore, draft picks, and a possible running back that they have there if you like one. Green Bay, perhaps. Maybe you want Aaron Jones and a couple draft picks. I am calling anyone who will listen to try to get him off my books. The Bills. I will take LaShawn McCoy and a couple draft picks. You win the deal right there. Now I know Ezekiel Elliott, he's a popular name. He's fun to watch. He's aggressive. He's a fun player to watch. But it's not worth it. It's not worth dealing with this for the next 2 years because he's going to sit out training camp next year if he doesn't get a deal. If he's sitting out training camp with 2 years on his deal, imagine what he's going to do with 1 year on his deal. Now I know that this is not like the Bell situation. The Cowboys can roll over this year on his contract if he doesn't show up. But why put up with that headache in the first place? Why would you put up with that headache? Yeah, he's a good player. But if he doesn't show up, what are you getting out of this? Sure, you're not paying him. Sure. But you're not paying him. He's not showing up. And you can actually get value for him if you're trying to move him. You don't think a team would move on the option to get Ezekiel Elliott? let's face it, Zeke's benefited from being a Dallas Cowboy. The Dallas Cowboys have had tremendous offense line since Zeke's entered the league. They struggled a bit more last year. Yes, they did, but they had injuries. You remember DeMarco Murray? That was supposed to be a big loss for the Cowboys. They replaced him. Darren McFadden had a great year there. And Darren McFadden was always injured, could never stay healthy. He was healthy in Dallas. This offense line is good. And they're going to get Travis Fredericks back most likely, which, happy to see. He deserves it. And they're going to have another year with Dak Prescott with a bit more of a passing scheme as well. The NFL's not rushing, it's passing. And the Cowboys are moving that direction with Kellen Moore being the quarterback. Not the quarterback coach last year, and now being the offense coordinator. They're moving towards a passing scheme. So why have this running back that's, I don't want to be here unless I'm getting paid? We still are getting paid a lot. You are getting to run behind one of the best offense line in the league. They're keeping you healthy. They're doing all these things for you. Why should we pay you? Why shouldn't we pay the guys that are making you look great? Dak Prescott. Now I know it's like, well, Zeke helps Dak. Dak helps out Zeke too. Dak's got ability to run if they do option plays, and he's also a good quarterback. He can throw the ball. Defenses can't load the box up all the time. Especially with Amari Cooper now spreading the field. You got Randall Cobb, Michael Gallup. This is not a tough decision. I trade Zeke. And I know it's an unpopular decision, but you got to move on. The NFL is a move on from this person league and get his replacement immediately. The NBA land is different. You can't do that. NHL land is different. You can't do that. NFL, you have 53-man rosters. One guy is not greater than 52. I'm sorry, Zeke. You gotta go. That's going to wrap it up for today. And I'm probably going to be producing videos about NFL division winners. I don't know when I'm going to start. It's either going to be next week or this Saturday. But it's going to be starting. I'm going to be having fun recording them because I'm going to predict the division winners. I'm going to dive into every team. And we'll probably start off with AFC teams. And I have my eye on the AFC South in particular. But thanks for watching and have a great day.